We are here at the Calhoun Research Lab at Northwestern University. This lab and the work being done here is supported by a Cure Epilepsy Taking Flight grant, which is funded by the Joseph Gamal Foundation. Dr. Calhoun is here to tell us about the work that he is doing in his lab, and Mike Gamal is here to tell us about the Joseph Gamal Foundation. So Dr. Calhoun, you are conducting genetic research here, specifically around the SCN1A gene. So just to lay some groundwork here about your research, can you tell us about the SCN1A gene?
Absolutely. It encodes for something called a sodium channel, and there's a whole family of these genes that are expressed in either the brain, the heart, skeletal muscle, and they do similar things but also different things depending on where they're expressed. And what's interesting is when there's a genetic variant that causes these genes to not function the way that they're supposed to function, you end up with a severe genetic disorder. And so in the case of any of the brain sodium channels like SCN1A, that would be epilepsy. So we're focused on these sort of new class of variants that were detected by the International League Against Epilepsy, or the ILAE. And they found that while most of the variants that we know that cause epilepsy are actually in the channel itself, if you picture the region of chromosome as my finger and if the SCN1A gene is my knuckles, they found variants that were actually not in the gene but still contributing to epilepsy risk. And for a lot of people, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. And so that's kind of what I want to understand. And so our thought is that even though those variants aren't in the channel itself, maybe they actually control how much of the channel gets made in the brain.
That is fascinating. So Mike, the incredible work being done in this lab that ideally is going to impact so many lives is being funded by your organization, the Joseph Gamal Foundation. Can you tell us a little bit about the foundation?
Sure. So our foundation is in memory of my son, Joseph Gamal, who passed away in 2010, and he suffered from Dravet, which is one of the rare epilepsies that the work that Dr. Calhoun and his team are doing here is addressing. So shortly after Joe's death, decided we needed to do something to help the next family, because 12, 13 years ago, the prognosis for Dravet patients was grim. It's not quite as grim as it was, but it's not as bright as it should be. So we put together a group of musicians that every year play a benefit concert for us in Madison, and we raise money. We turn that money over to the very smart people at Cure who find folks like Dr. Calhoun that make sure that money is put to good use, and we keep inching that bar forward.
And we are incredibly grateful for the work that you have done and the relationship so that that Cure Epilepsy grant can fund this kind of work.
Absolutely.
That we so desperately need.